It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hey everybody, welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. I'm Ernie Johnson. With me, oh you know him, Shaquille O'Neal. You know this guy too, Kenny the Jet Smith. Tonight, we'll be watching the Minnesota Timberwolves playing against the Raptors in Toronto. Last outing for Toronto, they ended up with a win against Charlotte. That game a high-scoring affair. We'll see if this one turns into a shootout as well. And Tom Thibodeau, Tibbs they call him, running the whole show in Minnesota.
I have a question.
What?
What's that? Thibodeau, but then you translate it to Tibbs.
I don't know. I know, it never has made a whole lot of sense.
Okay.
So why couldn't he should be Thibs.
I know. I was just about to say that.
It made more sense when they called him Tom Thibodeau and called him Tibbs. But then they said, no, really, it's actually Thibodeau, and they still call him Tibbs.
Then that makes no sense.
I know. But he has a great core in place.
Yeah, he does.
They should be competitive for a while, don't you think?
Well, Thibs, or Tibbs, is one of the greatest defensive minds in the game, depending how you look at it. Tibbs or Tibbs.
You know, he actually got a start in the NBA with the Wolves. It's amazing how things come back around.
It is.
What's that?
That's a wolf.
That's a Timberwolf?
Whatever kind of wolf it may be.
In Minnesota, it's a Timberwolf.
It's a Timberwolf.
You think that's what it sounds like?
Hold on. Timbers have something to do with trees. So a wolf that bites on trees?
No, it's out there living in the trees.
Living in the trees.
Got it. Okay.
Living up there, way up there in the trees.
So what's a werewolf?
Ow! No, that's a Timberwolf right there.
But what's a werewolf?
Ow!
What's a werewolf?
That's a dog, Ernie. That's not a Timberwolf.
Well,
I think a werewolf is a fictional character. I don't think it's actual.
does it make any noise?
I don't think it's a werewolf.
So you're telling me werewolf in London wasn't real?
No.
I just got back from London. I just saw one.
Okay, time for tip-off as we send it over to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Greetings, everyone. Glad to have you here with us on this Wednesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan at the table alongside Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge from the sideline. This is their first chance this season playing the Timberwolves. A year ago, they each gained a victory at home, but couldn't secure a win on the road.
And really, this is a team that expects to beat everyone when they step on the floor, but they were only able to split the series last year.
You wonder if they're looking to take control of this one early. And when you have more talent, you want to keep the other guys from gaining any confidence.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, guys, the work ethic of Wolves coach Tom Thibodeau is very well known. Now, back in Chicago, Jimmy Butler would try to beat him to practice. But no matter how early Butler arrived, Tibbs was already there. Finally, Butler said, okay, forget it. I can't beat him, so I'm just going to run through a wall for him. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Well, early on, just watching certain veteran players, Doris, continuing to play at a high level after so many years.
And what you love is the great ones seem to adjust their games along the way, and not only adjust their games, but add dimensions, whether it's being able to go down into the low post position if you're a point guard, a two guard, or even a three-man. But the other part of this, Kevin, is the off-the-court stuff, the better nutrition that these guys are being much smarter about, the strength and conditioning programs they're putting themselves through in the offseason. All of that raises the level in the NBA.
So the Timberwolves win the tip. Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. On the court for Minnesota, Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Rose is out there with Teague, and it's Wiggins in at the 3. And it's Towns missing. Wright with it. Trying to get open is Gibson, and it's Wright missing. Teague against Lowry. Over in the corner, Rose. His three-pointers off the mark. Wright against Rose, and Wright, here we go. Yep, that one goes in there. Wright's got the first points on the scoreboard for Toronto.
And where's the help? Obviously, a missed rotation, something they're going to want to patch up.
Right, because otherwise you're going to give up those close range opportunities all night. If you allow the opposition to get into a groove, look out.
And you look at Jeff Teague, now with a decade in the league out of Wake Forest. Greg, what does he bring to the table aside from the fact that he's been in the playoffs every single year of his career?
Yeah, I mean, he's an explosive slasher and really has grown as a playmaker. Not a star, but a quality starting point guard.
Free throw good. Teague. Jeff Teague replacing Ricky Rubio at the point guard position for the Timberwolves. Doris, did you like that change?
You know what I did, Kevin? They're drastically different players. Rubio probably the better defensive player, definitely the more prolific passer, but the shooting was always an issue. Where with Teague, you get a guy who can knock down three-point shots, and he's one of the best point guards in the league at dribble driving into the paint and getting some action off that.
And as you would expect from the way he plays, Teague is a terrific free throw shooter.
Ibaka, the pass to Leonard. Lays it up off the glass.
Well, this is a guy who understands his role in their offense, right? And they know exactly how to use him.
Teague against Lowry. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Outside Rose. Gibson setting the pick for Teague. From deep. The shot misses. And Toronto will go the other way with it. Right, the pass to Lowry. Here's Ibaka outside for Lowry. Great D that time from Teague.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to give your offense a chance, and that possession didn't do it.
Not at all, Greg. I mean, no reason for him to be taking these kinds of shots. He has only himself to blame.
Defensive rebounding, just such a crucial part of the game.
I'll tell you, if you don't box out well, expect to get burned. You can't afford to give them second chance opportunities.
Here's Valanciunas after the made shot from Karl Anthony Towns. Lowry from outside. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
What a fluid perimeter game. Kyle Lowry, a consistent threat from deep.
Outside Teague. Wiggins kicks to Towns. Fires from the wing. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
And defensively, this is a nightmare. He's already on a roll.
Greg, the defense better start to disrupt his rhythm, or it's going to be an awfully long night for them.
Leonard with the bucket.
Well, Serge Ibaka sets a good, solid screen, and that creates an opportunity for his guy.
Timberwolves trail by 3. Now Teague. An 11-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
It was never all about himself. He came away with a lot of assists in that game and just kind of kept everybody in the mix.
Lowry from outside. Here's Leonard inside. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
Well, Kevin, to steal a line from you up high and down hard, Jonas Valanciunas. Go ahead, big fella.
Teague, the pass to Rose. And we're just over 3.5 minutes into the first quarter. Five to shoot. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. No good from Gibson.
Simply have to go up stronger than that. Could be a simple layup if he shows a little more determination.
And it's Leonard missing. Timberwolves trail by 5. Leonard against Wiggins. Over in the corner, Rose, and stolen by Wright. Lowry against Teague. 18 feet out. Ibaka, no luck. For Minnesota, they've gone just 2 of 8 shooting so far, just 25%. And that one's good. Wiggins.
Well, a point guard must understand window of opportunity, and Jeff Teague specializes in exactly that.
Teague against Lowry. Screened by Valanciunas. Valanciunas with a screen on Teague. Lowry. And the rejection by Towns.
He's trying to make something happen, but obviously been a tough quarter.
Rose kicks to Wiggins. Three-pointer. Rebounded by Serge Ibaka. Ibaka's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And stolen by Jeff Teague. And the rejection by Ibaka.
Boy, still a dependable shot blocker. That is what got Serge Ibaka playing time at the beginning of his career. Nice.
Lowry against Teague. Lowry up top. A 17-point game for him in the win against Charlotte.
And what a wrecking ball defensively, seen by the 4 steals he had in that game. If he were shooting a bit better tonight, they'd be much further ahead in the scoreboard.
And Teague knew that he would be open there. Great patience and vision from the point man.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
I think, Greg, you can't expect to win with that kind of effort. The defense was nowhere to be found, and it cost them all night long.
And the Raptors making a change here. Van Vliet's checked in. Year after year, the Timberwolves have the NBA's most grueling travel schedule. A lot of miles to cover in the West.
Kevin, if you add up their flights in a season, they could circle the globe more than twice. And let's remember, there's no frequent flyer miles here either.
Minnesota with the ball after Toronto picking up the basket just moments ago. Ball's knocked loose, and so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here. And it's still early in the year, but already some trends developing as we check out the new power rankings. Taking a look at Milwaukee. They're playing really well, moving up now to the top spot in our rankings.
And you know, for the Raptors, they were obviously hoping to start out better. Still, too soon to panic. But lately, they've had very little luck and seem to be trending in the wrong direction.
Now, here's Teague. Outside, Towns. Rebounded by Valanciunas.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Well, that's just stellar interior defense. You can't ask for anything more than that.
Here's Van Vliet. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. And it's Leonard missing.
Boy, I'll tell you, he has plenty of space, but it looked like a little bit of a hitch in that release.
Yep, that one goes.
Well, Kevin, it takes great confidence in catch-and-shoot situations, and you can see how comfortable Valanciunas is in that opportunity.
Now here's Rose. 23 points for him the last game against Indiana.
Boy, and defensively, he had them off balance. He was able to come away with 4 steals.
The Timberwolves again can't hit. Releases from 15, and he can't bank that one in. Timberwolves trail by 6, and Fred VanVleet is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. Jang, a screen. Leonard against Wiggins. They set the pick. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game. Raptors on defense. 6-point lead. Pass to Tolliver. Hits the jumper in space. Tolliver's got his first points of the night. Toronto's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Screened by Ibaka. Van Vliet kicks to Ibaka. Back to Van Vliet. And here's Leonard from 3. Minnesota with the rebound. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And what an outstanding win it was. I mean, to get it the way they did in overtime made it that much sweeter.
You know, they came in as the underdog here. Very low expectations, could play without pressure, and clearly that worked.
And the Raptors call time here.
Well, think about the Minnesota native Tyus Jones. His poise at the point guard spot is what stands out to me, guys. Here's a terrific IQ and an unbelievable sense for how to run a team. Tyus Jones, we're just getting the best of him now.
And Toronto will go for a different look here. Monroe's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Pascal Siakam comes in for Serge Ibaka. Danny Green, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Powell in for DeLon Wright. Now here's Green. He picked up 12 points in their last win against Charlotte. And Tyus Jones, Doris, won a national championship at Duke. He was the outstanding player in the Final Four, but only the 24th pick in 2015. What caused him to slip?
Well, I think one of the questions you had was athletically, could he match up at the point guard position in today's NBA? But I think what you absolutely love about Tyus Jones, just as you stated, he won a national championship. This guy has been a winner. And I think his skill level, the intangibles, his ability to run a team, there's a lot to like about this young man's game.
Now here's Green following the missed shot by Tyus Jones. Okogie, guarded by Powell, uncovered. Hits the front of the rim and out.
I'll tell you, he's not going to get in his coach's good graces if he's missing wide open looks like that.
Count that bucket.
Well executed, and then you love the strong finish.
Yes, you love that they're not settling for anything outside the paint. Excellent work getting right to the tin.
Here is Tolliver. There's the pick. Here's Jang. Offline with his three.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Timberwolves trail by 4. Okogie misses off the left iron. Toronto's gone 1 of 5 from downtown in the first quarter. Points out there have been hard to come by. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Well, after the Raptors fell short of their goals last season, you knew they were going to be changing some things up.
Well, obviously the first big move was moving on from Dwayne Casey as the head coach. And you think about Dwayne had brought the best years this franchise had seen, and they still felt it was time for a shift. Now, it's not necessarily his blame. Sometimes you just need to hear a new voice when you ended in the playoffs the way they have over the last several years.
The first one falls.
Well, one thing there's no question about is that Norman Powell is a gifted athlete. Now it's about rounding out that game, particularly his shooting.
And so he's able to get 1 of 2. We now have rules, Doris, that protect shooters from defenders stepping underneath them. But what about when the defender leaves his feet and the offensive player steps underneath and tries to draw the foul?
Well, I think one of the things that we have to look at is, okay, we certainly do not want the defender to have unnatural movements which place him underneath the feet of the shooter, because that's where injuries can happen. On the other side of the equation, and this has become problematic to me, you see far too many shooters either jump unnaturally outside of what should be a straight up and down shooting motion, or guys who kick their legs sideways in an attempt to draw contact and fall over. But Kev, this is where officiating is about feel, touch, and vision.
Van Vliet. Clock at 6. Lots of room. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2. 1:12 left in the first quarter. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Jones, the pass to Jang. Monroe on the double team. And there's a whistle that goes against Greg Monroe. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Nunley. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
And the offense is sputtering a bit here, starting to fall behind.
So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up. And guys, veteran Danny Green moving north last summer as part of the Kawhi Leonard trade, now in a Toronto Raptors uniform.
Yeah, and not the big name in that deal, obviously, but an important piece. Green is shown to be a very capable 3-and-D guy, and it's the next chapter in what has been a solid career for him.
Free throw drops for Green. And Danny Green, a terrific shooter who also, Greg, happens to give you great production on defense.
Yeah, and I'd have to say Green's probably alone in history with his shooting and defense. Only player to ever have 6 or more seasons with at least 50 blocks and 73s. You know, it might be arbitrary checkpoints, but nevertheless, it illustrates just what Green brings to the table, a consistent 3-and-D player.
Timberwolves trail by 7. Jones kicks to Zhang. Zhang, a screen. There's 37 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. 2 open that time. Made it look too easy.
Well, Gorgui Zhang, as a big man, is an excellent passer. That's a pretty look.
We've got 33 seconds left to play in the first. Here's Van Vliet, defended by Jones. It's stolen by Jones. And even 3-on-3 break. Okogie off target from 3-point range.
Well, he continues to have trouble with his shot, well below 50% from the field in this period.
Powell, the pass to Van Vliet. He kicks it to Monroe. Over Zhang. And again, Toronto no up. And we reach the end of the first quarter. The Raptors out in front, up 4. After this break, we'll be back with the start of the second quarter on 2K Sports. All-star big man Karl Anthony Towns is hungry to maximize his potential.
I want to be the best player who ever played, and I feel that I could do that. I think I have the God-given talent and the God-given abilities to make it happen, and I have total confidence in myself every single day. I wake up that I could be the greatest player who ever played. I know if I continue to put the work ethic in and continue to do all the little things I need to do, I could find myself in that conversation. But, you know, obviously I got to learn every single day and never take no days for granted.
On his coaches, Greg, and teammates love hearing that.
And how can you not? I mean, that kind of drive is special. And with his tools and potential, hard to put a ceiling on just how good he can be.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And from what we've seen so far from the Raptors, guys, your thoughts?
Tough defense throughout that first period, and it's really paying dividends.
Well, I think there's a level of physicality with them right now and not allowing the opponent to feel comfortable getting into their heads just a bit.
We've got Monroe. Green is out there with Norman Powell. And it's Siakam in at the power forward position. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Powell for 3. And that one is off. And Minnesota will come the other way. Next up on the docket, the Bucks following this one. They start a 3-game homestand with that game. Jones drives in, and it's all evened up. Jones has got his second basket.
Boy, what touch. You know, a lot of guys don't have the kind of feel necessary to make the floater.
Pass to Siakam. To the paint. Here's Nunley. Green with the block. Siakam kicks to Van Vliet. It's stolen by Jones. And we're now about a minute and a half into the second quarter. They set the screen. Okogie. The three-pointer is right on target. 6 points for him. Raptors trail by 3. Here's Van Vliet looking for his first basket still in this one. Down low. Monroe, the pass to Van Vliet. Over Jones. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
And you can see he just caught a glimpse of the open man on the perimeter and immediately got him the basketball.
Okogie, guarded by Powell. Timberwolves passing it around. Out to the right wing. 5 to shoot. Powell pulls it in.
As long as they can hang on to this lead, he won't have to answer for what's been an off night for him.
And it's Green with the jam.
Well, you love to see Norman Powell be unselfish and find an open teammate. That's pretty.
And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Trying his luck deep. Toronto grabs the miss. Powell's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. A 3 ball. It's hauled in by Tolliver. Tolliver's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Okogie, guarded by Powell. Kicks to Tolliver. Just 5 to shoot. Nice work there coming off the screen. And the Timberwolves lead by 1.
You know, the assist has to go to the screen on that play. Gave him all the room he needed to rise and fire.
Outside, Green. Out to the right wing. And there are the Raptors with another bucket.
Boy, you have got to love the dime, the pass on time and on target.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. Of course, I'm sure you look at these players, evaluate who could make a possible head coach out of the group I'm watching right now. And I'm sure there are a couple players that come to mind for me.
Well, I think when you just talk basketball intellect, one of the first guys that comes to mind is Rajon Rondo. I mean, his insatiable appetite to watch film, to have complete understanding not only of the sets of his own team, but Rajon Rondo, when he's on the defensive end of the floor, as soon as a play is called, he will repeat it and basically tell the teammates, hey, look for this action here. So Rajon Rondo comes to mind. Someone like Andre Iguodala, who also is someone Steve Kerr has referred to as maybe the smartest player he's ever been around. Now, so much more to coaching than just basketball intellect. You've got to be willing to deal with the egos and things, and do these players want to do that? Who knows?
A high percentage look there for Ibaka. He can be automatic in there when given room.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Lowry. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Timberwolves.
They haven't been able to exploit the 3 from the corner. Maybe some better ball movement would help open the floor and get that shot into their arsenal.
Here's Towns. 23 points for him the last game against Indiana.
And we can't forget his dominance on defense, guys. His shot blocking altered the entire game.
Raptors leading by 3. Leonard inside, covered by Wiggins. For Minnesota, they've gone 4 of 10 in the second quarter from the field. Pass to Towns, lets it go from deep, and Wright pulls it down.
Boy, the way he's been going, he is not going to be the guy to turn this around.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
And with Kawhi Leonard, he just does everything well on the floor. Offense, defense, rebounding, runs the floor. I mean, he is one of the more complete players in our league. He can completely take over a game on both ends.
For Toronto, they have gone 3 of 4 at the free throw line tonight.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one drops. And Greg, with Kawhi, started as a defensive stopper, but he now is so much more than that.
I mean, he's got a great outside shot, that pull-up jumper, the turnarounds in the post. He has the complete repertoire. You never would have thought he was only viewed as a defense guy once upon a time, but was already a fantastic player. But this is a guy that continues to just add to his game.
Well, think about the Toronto Raptors last year. 59 wins in the regular season, which was a franchise high. Won the Atlantic for the 4th time in 5 years. And then it comes to an end with a thud, losing to the Cavaliers in the playoffs. Brutal.
Here is Lowry following the score by Derrick Rose. It's stolen by Rose. Here's Teague, and it's slammed in by Teague.
That's just exceptional quickness in the open floor. Jeff Teague just lighting the defense up in transition.
And for the Raptors, swept by the Cavs in the postseason, Doris, for the 2nd consecutive year.
It's getting painful. Swept twice, defeated for the 3rd straight time by the same team. And you think about the Raptors, a team that geared up and changed things to try to avoid it, and it still happens. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Checking out the numbers for Wright. Some last season stats for him. Put up 8 points per game, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And right now, he's just a role player, but he's working hard and contributing in spurts.
Well, we've certainly seen flashes of what this guy can do, but he has got to find a way to consistently do it if he wants to be a starter.
Leonard laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Leonard's got 10.
And he's got the athleticism and strength to be a powerful presence inside. Leonard never afraid to get in and mix it up down low.
Now here's Wiggins. 26 points for him last game against Indiana. The Raptors have gotten exactly half their shots to go down here in the second. 5 of 10. Screen by Ibaka. And it's Wright missing.
Yeah, blown opportunity after the two-man game creates a terrific look.
Well, he simply misfired. You've got to capitalize when the screen opens up wide open shots like that.
Now here's Wiggins. He has 5. 4 on the shot clock. There's Rose with the 3. They get it back. Towns, and the dunk by Towns.
Boy, how about the anticipation from Karl Anthony Towns? Beats everyone to the spot and goes right back up with it.
And Valanciunas kicks to right. Back to Valanciunas. Shoots over Towns. No good from Valanciunas. Minnesota in the lead. The feed now to Rose. And the rejection by Leonard.
And a sensational individual defender. Leonard will lock you down. Rejections are just part of the package he brings on the defensive end.
A lot of give and take between these sides early.
And both teams look like they came to play. We should have a good one.
And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
And that's a tough one. But on those illegal screen calls, the defender's never going to get the benefit of the doubt.
And that's true. The officials used to be pretty lenient on those, but not anymore.
And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Boy, that's a pass I don't think anyone saw coming other than maybe Kyle Lowry. What vision on the dish.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Habit. And the Timberwolves call time here.
When you watch Kyle Lowry play, you see how much bigger he is than his stats. Does so many little things on both ends of the floor. I mean, he's a great screen setter, takes charges, all the things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet, but are important when it comes to winning. And a moment now to look at the numbers for Valanciunas. Good season for him last year. 8th in field goal percentage, and he was among the top 20 rebounders in the league. Never shy about throwing his weight around in the paint.
And you know, back to his tremendous efficiency shooting last season, top 10 in the league, his dead-eye shooting creates so many opportunities for that offense. Teague, a screen on Valanciunas. Here's Wiggins. And Valanciunas pulls it down. Valanciunas has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And Greg, with Lowry, it isn't like he's quiet on the stat sheet either.
No, he is a bulldog. I mean, scores it, the playmaking. He's just complete in terms of a backcourt player. Rebounds as well as anybody for his position, and got good hands on defense. It just gives you a little bit of everything at that point guard position.
Now here's Towns. He's got 8. He dishes it to Rose. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Boy, what a roller coaster career it has been for Derrick Rose. One-time league MVP, now just trying to fit in with the rest of his guys. This is not an easy transition.
And unfortunately, injuries will always be the concern with Derrick Rose. Still loves the game of basketball, knows he is limited compared to what he once was. Amazing with all he's fought through, he can still perform at such a high level.
And he makes the first. And with Rose, as you said, his love of the game is still there, and he still wants to play.
I mean, many players would have just walked away from having their body betray him. But Rose said last season he loves what he gets to do and still would be a water boy if he had to. You have to admire Rose's attitude and approach in that regard.
And Doris, the Wolves, a lot of promise, but how do they deliver?
I think Tom Thibodeau says it best, Kevin. It's the little things. The magic is actually in the work you put in every day. No shortcuts, no easy way out. There's a price to be paid for winning in the NBA.
Now, here's Teague. Excellent use of the screen that time. Teague's got 4 points this quarter.
And a lot of teams avoid the mid-range jumper, but they seem to be using it well.
And it's Lowry penetrating. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off.
Well, it's his intelligence that puts Kyle Lowry up there with the top assist men in the NBA.
Timberwolves trail. And here is Teague. He has 6. Towns the screen. Left side Gibson. A baseline J. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got 3 assists now in this one. Ibaka with the screen on Teague, and it's Lowry penetrating. And it's Wright missing. Minnesota's gone 1 of 4 from 3-point range in the second. Not a whole lot dropping out there for them. He feeds it to Valanciunas. And it's Valanciunas finishing it off. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
There have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness.
Teague against Lowry. Tries it from 9. And the rejection by Valanciunas. Now the pass to Leonard. And stolen by Wiggins. To the inside. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. Valanciunas doesn't play a ton of minutes, Doris, but fans feel he should be playing more.
Well, there's certainly a lot to like about Valanciunas' game. And how about last season? Because the NBA is changing, he can now step beyond the three-point arc and make those shots consistently. That will elevate his position and standing.
First free throw is good.
Well, there's so much value in how Jeff Teague runs an offense. He's got great speed. He plays hard on both ends of the floor. I think any organization would be lucky to have this guy.
Green, he's checked in for the Raptors. And a change for the Timberwolves. Jang, he's checked in for Taj Gibson. That one misses. One thing you have to admire, Doris, about the Raptors franchise is their sustained success.
And that's not easy, Kevin. Last year marked their 3rd straight 50-win season and their 5th straight postseason trip. Very few other teams can claim those items in that time frame. Boy, the Raptors, what a good, solid core.
Shoots from 12. Teague can't hit. Toronto's got nothing but zeros from long range in the second quarter. 0 of 4. Ibaka outside. Over Jang. Misses off the right iron. Minnesota's shooting has been a little ragged, just 38% from the field. And the foul on Jonas Valanciunas. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
Okay, now you've got to dial down the intensity a bit, right? That's his 2nd foul, and we still got a ways to go before halftime.
Monroe's checked in for Valanciunas. Here's Wiggins. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. It's on Kawhi Leonard.
Andrew Wiggins, the #1 overall pick back in 14. Great bloodlines, the son of pro athletes. The game just seems to come easy to him.
This is his first chance at the line tonight. And he knocks down the first one. You know, Greg, the game comes so easy to Wiggins, but some say he needs to be more assertive, more aggressive. Do you see that?
I mean, high expectations for a player that was taken first overall. The length and athleticism should enable him to impact the game in so many ways, but, you know, his motor doesn't always rev high enough to take advantage.
He hits one and misses one, each at the line.
Well, you think about Andrew Wiggins, guys, signing that max deal in 2017. Timberwolves ownership, though, wanted to sit down with Wiggins to hear him commit to being a better player. Pretty unusual stuff.
And on the heels of that contract extension, all of Andrew Wiggins' shooting percentages fell last season. Doris, you think a cause for concern for the Timberwolves?
Well, I think obviously, Kevin, anytime you've committed almost $30 million a season to one guy, the expectations are going to be sky high. For me, Andrew Wiggins needs to just stay consistent. We are talking about a guy with elite athleticism, plenty to take advantage on the offensive end. It's a question for me of, does Andrew Wiggins want to be great? Because the potential is there.
The first one falls. Fred VanVleet is checked in for Kyle Lowry. And so he hits both.
Well, you think about the Minnesota Timberwolves becoming one of the premier offensive teams in the league. They have a huge advantage in free throw attempts and limiting turnovers. 2 things that have really set this group apart.
Now here's Wiggins. He has 6, and they pick up 2.
Well, this guy can do it anytime he wants. Andrew Wiggins with broad shoulders to carry the load there.
Here's Green. That one drops, and he's now 2 for 5. It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
Exactly, guys. The way it's seesawed back and forth, unbelievable.
Wiggins against Green. Passes it to Nunley. Here is Tolliver. 9 points last game out. Pass to Nunley. Just 5 to shoot. Wiggins inside the line. Here's Jang. It's deflected, and he recovers it. And another shot. And it's Wiggins missing.
And just not able to find the target from three-point range here in the second quarter, although he did knock down one in the first.
There's Green with the 3. Raptors get it back. Here's Siakam. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And the first half comes to a conclusion in a game that has been very close so far. Raptors lead by 1. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Kawhi, you have grown so much offensively throughout your career. What's the focus at that end of the floor?
You know, just knocking down open shots, my ball handling, making good decisions off the pick and roll, and just try to limit my turnovers.
And you've done well so far, Kawhi. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow, right here on 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is our halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Kawhi Leonard is having one of those nights. He had 12 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And taking a look at the Raptors, Kenny, what did you see out there?
Well, so far they won the battle of assists. They played more patiently and very unselfish in the first half. Good shot selection and nice flow of offense.
How about you, Shaq? What'd you think about Minnesota?
Well, they shot under 40% in the half. That tells the story right there. The defense deserves some credit for disrupting them a little bit, but they need to counteract with more creativity on offense. Few isolations, more movement, better shot selection.
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take you down to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel.
Joel, what up?
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Kawhi Leonard really has his fingerprints all over this one.
Yeah, the first half, what a thing of beauty. He was just living in the lane.
How special is it, Greg, to watch a guy who's able to get into the paint with speed and consistency? They cannot let him get inside like that.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. So on the floor for Minnesota, Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Teague out there with Derrick Rose. And it's Wiggins in at the 3, the small forward. Well, you can't deny the amount of talent on this Raptors team, Doris. At times, they can simply overrun opponents.
You know what, Kevin? You do not end up in the top 5 for effective field goal percentage, both offensively and defensively, without talent. But obviously, when the Raptors get going and shots are falling, boy, they can compete with just about anyone.
Free throw drops for Kyle Lowry. And last summer, Minnesota's front office saying, Doris, they would like the Wolves to lean more on their bench.
It would be nice for Coach Tom Thibodeau to have the luxury of guys coming off the bench that he can trust. You've got to fortify the bench and then trust them to perform. Boy, it's just never a good idea to give this guy too many chances at the line. He's going to cash in.
And Gibson kicks to Rose. Gibson setting the pick for Rose. Towns in the corner, shoots the 3. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Towns has got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves. The Raptors shooting 43% from the field. Right with it. Right side Lowry. Valanciunas dishes to Lowry. Over Teague, and Lowry gets it to go. Lowry's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Kevin, I think they've got to put a higher priority on defending Lowry in the mid-range. This guy's going to burn you every chance he gets.
Towns wide open and too long on the shot.
Well, I think the defense took that possession off. I'm pretty sure he won't miss next time.
Wiggins kicks to Rose. Back to Wiggins. Shoots over Leonard. And that one's good. Wiggins. Wiggins has got 10.
Well, you think the body up to Wiggins will throw him off. It doesn't help at all.
In the corner, right with it. Back to Lowry. Pass to Valanciunas. Right with a screen on Teague. Ibaka drills the three-pointer. 7 points in the game.
Well, Serge Ibaka has been better than 50% from the field for his career. You cannot give him room off screens.
Here's Rose. Rebound by the Raptors. Ibaka's got rebound number 8 now on the night. A wide open look here for Wright. Again, Toronto.
They wanted a fast start coming out of the break, and they are now 3 for 3.
And stolen by Kyle Lowry. Guys, a potent offense right now.
You know what, guys, and they're playing with a certain amount of assuredness in their game. That type of confidence is what leads teams to having success.
Screen by Ibaka. Tries yet again, and Wright gets it to go on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got 6 assists here tonight.
Everything going to plan here to start the third. 80% shooting thus far.
Minnesota calls timeout.
You know, and Serge Ibaka, a player who kind of came into the league as a defensive stopper, shot block. You know, still has great length and can bother shots, but not the prolific shot blocker he once was, as the focus has become more on the offensive end.
And here's a shot chart now, getting a better perspective on where he's been shooting the ball from.
And as this chart shows, things just aren't falling for him like they usually do. He isn't ice cold, but nothing is falling his way, and he's become an inefficient source of points for his team.
Now here's Wiggins. He's got 10. Here's Teague, using his post move to get the 2 points. Teague's got 9. And with Ibaka, at one point, would average almost 4 blocks a game.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard for any player to maintain a pace that high at this stage. Ibaka's done well to adjust, I think, his capabilities and make sure he can still have an impact on defense. The block numbers won't ever be as gaudy as they once were, but he is still causing problems for shooters.
Now here's Leonard. Following the miss by Andrew Wiggins. Screen by Ibaka. Right, the pass to Valanciunas. There's the 3. And it's Wright missing. Timberwolves trail by 5. Rose kicks to Teague. Floats it up for Wiggins. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
There's no defense for that. Andrew Wiggins enjoying life above the rim.
And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Havoc. There's a good screen. And stolen by Wiggins. Now here's Rose, the fast break opportunity. The kick out to Towns. And another 3 for Minnesota.
Boy, pure dominance from Karl Anthony Towns. This guy is a go-to legit scorer with multiple weapons.
Outside Lowry for 3. No good there. The Timberwolves go the other way with it. Outside Teague. For the lead. Good work defensively by Lowry. Toronto's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. That one on Rose.
Well, let's remember, Serge Ibaka is a defensive presence. This guy, an elite shot blocker early in his career, and he is now a capable scorer from just about anywhere.
And the first one at the line is good.
Well, Serge Ibaka has been willing to become a modern NBA stretch 4. You have to be able to shoot the 3, and Serge is willing to follow the correct trends of the league. You love the adjustment.
Ibaka hits both of them. Indoors with Ibaka, he has changed his offensive approach, but the defense stays the same.
Right, you think early on he was defined by his shot blocking ability, and I still think he can protect the rim. He knows how important an emphatic block can be for team-changing momentum.
Shot clock at 6. On the wing, Wiggins. He's covered by Leonard. Here on the 2K leaderboard are the rebounding leaders from a season ago. Karl Anthony Towns, 4th.
What a season he had in the paint. I mean, his rebounding numbers really mind-boggling. Who wouldn't love to have a guy like that?
3 shots.
And that one misses.
Well, getting to the line at will nowadays. Wiggins wanting to improve his free throw percentage.
Good on the second free throw.
That is disappointing. Not only should they not be trailing, they should have the lead. Brutal misses on that trip.
Outside for Lowry. Now the pass to Wright. Toronto gets it back in a new 24. Back to Lowry. Dishes it to Wright. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. Ibaka, no luck. Minnesota's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the third quarter so far. And Towns gets it to go. Towns has got 16 points.
Well, his versatility on display. Karl Anthony Towns can spot up from deep, back you down in the post, and just for luck, how about a little money pull-up off the dribble?
Toronto calls timeout. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And a wide open look here for Wiggins, and another 3 for Minnesota.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Lowry kicks to Leonard. Over Wiggins. Got that one, and the Minnesota lead has been cut down to just 2 points from the bucket from Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, and from mid-range, Leonard's jump shot is money. It doesn't matter if it's off the dribble or catch and shoot. He never loses his touch.
Now here's Wiggins. 16 points for him. Over Leonard. The kick out to T. Towns a screen on Green, and it's a defensive 3-second violation. The Timberwolves have converted 7 of 11 free throw attempts up to this point in the game.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
And he shows the focus there, nails the technical.
How about Karl Anthony Towns, guys? At the age of 11, guess how tall he was? 6'3". So it was his goal to develop a complete skill set all the way back then. Boy, how about that? Ahead of the game in terms of the NBA.
Raptors trail by 3. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Oh, I dunk you very much.
He can really fly, and you combine that, Greg, with some nice penetration, too, and you've got 2 points. That's going to be over and back. Not watching for the line that time. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. Outside Lowry. Monroe sets a screen for Lowry. For the 3, buries the long-range jumper. Lowry's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Well, that's execution to perfection. Lowry uses the screen and makes it look easy.
And the foul called on Danny Green. That's his first foul. Right side Jones. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul. Toronto on defense. A 2-point game. Jang the pass to Nunley. Okogie deflected by Green. Here's Leonard. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And Greg, one of the stories that had started developing since last season was the talk of Kawhi Leonard wanting out. Too many soured relationships, it seemed.
And he was eventually moved after requesting a trade. Pop and the Spurs tried just about everything they could to convince him to stay. Probably the most drama for a team known for not having any drama. And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
He hits both from the stripe.
I think the one constant with Tom Thibodeau is you can always hear his voice the entire game. Doesn't matter if you're up 20 or down 20, you will hear Tom Thibodeau on the sideline.
And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. Kicks it to Jang. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Down low. And finished off by Jang.
Well, how about the aggressiveness at the point of attack? Jang finishing like he means it.
And hearing Coach Tom Thibodeau, some have described his voice as part growl, part bark.
He's very intense, Kevin, and I think the one thing you know about Tom Thibodeau, he likes to say, there is a price to pay. It's all about the work you put in.
And Minnesota has possession. Kawhi Leonard unable to get his shot to go, but they'll get another chance. Passes it to Nunley. Down low, a second chance effort, and oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's on Kawhi Leonard. The Timberwolves have had 12 attempts at the line, making 8 so far.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
And the first one at the line is good. And the Raptors with some changes. Siakam is checked in for Ibaka. Norman Powell comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Fred VanVleet in for Kyle Lowry. He's off on the second. Raptors with the lead. Here's VanVleet. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got 3 assists tonight. Minnesota's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Inside, ball's knocked loose. And he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
He's gone 2 for 2 at the line so far.
And at the line last year, he was good on about 77% of his attempts.
Free throw good, Green.
And one thing you can say about Green, I don't know of too many players who are as dependent on their three-point shot as he is. He needs that shot to be falling for him to make an impact.
Here is Tolliver. Okogie, guarded by Powell, and it's good for 2. He's got 10.
I'll tell you, somebody on the defensive end has got to step in and try to get a body on him there.
There's VanVleet, defended by Jones. VanVleet kicks to Siakam. A 3-pointer off the mark.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Okogie, guarded by Powell, and the foul called on Danny Green. So that will be his 2nd foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. The Timberwolves made 9 free throws in the game, 14 attempts.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. Good on both. And here are the Raptors now. The lead is 2. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team. Here's Monroe. That one wide left. Minnesota's gotten going here in the second half from outside, nailing 3 of 4 from the arc. Here's Nunley. Here's Jang. He nails it, and we're tied up. Zhang's got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, the definition of an effort player. Zhang shows off that high motor, converts off the glass. Nice.
Van Vliet passes to Siakam. Back to Van Vliet. Outside, Green. Over Jones. And again, Toronto no up. Minnesota shooting it well here in the third, about 50%. Okogie drains the three-pointer. And it's a 3-point Timberwolves lead.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Shot to stop the run. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And here we can check out the story on Greg Monroe, how he performed last season. He averaged about 10 points a game last year, 7 rebounds and 2 assists. And he gives them a nice rotation on the front court. He is a quality reserve.
Well, the one thing you can't teach is size. He's not as developed skill-wise as some guys, but certainly a valuable backup for this team.
The first free throw is good, and the Timberwolves making a change here. Rose is checked in. Both good from the line that time. Here's Jones. 1:02 left in the third. He kicks it to Jang. The dish to Rose. On the wing, Jones. He's off on that one. And it's the Raptors taking it the other way.
And this is obviously where you'd like to see a 2-for-1.
Absolutely. You have to execute. No reason why they can't get a couple of chances at scores.
Minnesota's gotten 12 of their points from long range in the third quarter, going 4 of 5 shooting. Jang with the screen for Jones. Jang a screen. Jones drives in, down to 5 on the shot clock. First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first one falls. And so Jones nails both of them. .15 seconds left here in the third quarter. Here's Van Vliet. 6 points for him. He gets it up, and that's not going to go. It's been all about Karl Anthony Towns for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Between his points and his rebounds, he was a star for him in that quarter. Back right after this. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. We've got Green. Monroe is out there with Norman Powell, and it's Van Vliet in at the point guard. So that's the 5 in the game for Toronto. Now here's Rose. There's a screen. Shoots over Powell. Bank shot, no good.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously cold right now, but he's trying to find that rhythm. You've got to keep working.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, guys, we have got in the NBA.
The tireless work ethic, the passion. He's a guy the team relies on for that.
Minnesota in the lead. Jones kicks to Rose. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Here's Green. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. Timberwolves shooting under 40% all in all for the game. And Fred Van Vliet is going to pick up the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. And the Raptors with some changes. Jonas Valanciunas comes in for Monroe. And it's DeLon Wright in for Danny Green. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Teague dishes to Gibson. To the paint. Kicks it out to Wiggins. Gibson setting the pick for Wiggins. Wiggins drawing the double team. Shot clock at 3. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. So it's Minnesota now. Jang a screen. 6 to shoot. Teague. And the rejection by Valanciunas.
Boy, that's the length of Jonas Valanciunas on the defensive end. Not easy to get a shot over the 7-footer.
Towns, he's checked in for Minnesota. Final quarter of play, about a minute and a half off the clock into it. Clock at 2. And it's Wiggins missing. Toronto trailing. Here's Van Vliet. Pass to Valanciunas. Back to Van Vliet. To take the lead. And Gibson sends it back.
Boy, Gibson's so good at timing these rejections. Twice on the pipes from Taj.
Here's Wiggins. And he banks in the layup. Wiggins has got 10 points in just the second half.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
Well, there's no doubt this guy's on a hot streak right now. That's why he keeps getting the ball in this one. They're like, hey, we're going to feed the hot hand.
Van Vliet with the bucket.
You know, the defense was lax right there, and he's able to make them pay.
Outside Teague. Gibson a screen. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Shoots over Powell. And it's Wiggins missing. For Toronto, they've gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. Pass to Powell to take the lead. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
Absolutely critical that Norman Powell expand his range. The more he makes that 3, the more the floor opens up.
Towns the screen. Here's the screen. Off the pick. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Toronto's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Now here's Powell. He's guarded closely. Here's Valanciunas. Karl Anthony Towns with the rebound. Towns has got his 16th rebound on the night. That one goes. Count it. Wiggins has got 20 points.
Boy, in the second half, just hitting a much higher percentage of his shots. Really looks composed now.
Here's Van Vliet. Teague covering. Van Vliet can't get it to go. Timberwolves have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. And the shot goes in. And it's a 3-point Timberwolves lead.
His shooting has been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
And the Raptors call time here.
And Karl Anthony Towns, one of the most prolific three-point shooters in the league, at least top 3 amongst all 7-footers. And his three-point percentage elite as well, over 40%.
Catching up on the changes for Toronto. Serge Ibaka has checked in for Siakam. Leonard comes in for Norman Powell, and Kyle Lowry subbed in for Fred Van Vliet. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. The Toronto's head coach had some words for his team during the break. He does not like the high foul number in this game. He told them, you've got to stop biting on the shot fake. Stop gambling for steals. That's giving them easy points at the line. We'll see how they respond.
And Towns said he'd emulate Kevin Durant as a kid playing on the perimeter at Kentucky. Cal made him play inside, work in the post, and use his size.
So going back to his roots with his three-point shooting, the association experiencing a three-point renaissance, and he really does fit the mold.
Rose against Wright. Outside Rose. And there's the pass to Teague. Wiggins from outside. And there's the foul. It's on Towns. That'll be his second foul of the game. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent passing.
No doubt about it. It's fun to watch the way they're operating as a team right now. They are all in sync.
And here we go. Fast break. Wiggins has got it. And Wiggins throws it down.
Yeah, with those long strides, Andrew Wiggins so dangerous in transition.
Rose against Wright. It's stolen by Teague. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Towns with the ball. Toronto grabs the miss. Towns with the steal. And now the Timberwolves on the break. Teague's got the ball. And the rejection by Valanciunas. To the middle. Here's Leonard. The bucket is good. He'll have a chance for one more. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins.
And you don't want to allow too many of those short ones with the game right now in the balance.
And it's tied up with that one.
When he was in high school in California, Kawhi won the state's Mr. Basketball Award. And you look at the list of guys who won that award over the years, it has a lot of the all-time greats on it.
Now here's Gibson. Here's Wiggins. Doesn't get it to drop for him. 80 that time from Leonard. Here's Wright to take the lead. Here's Valanciunas, and the dunk by Valanciunas.
Well, I think, Kevin, this is something Jonas Valanciunas has hung his hat on, his ability to consistently get to the offensive window. Nicely done.
Here's Teague. He dishes it to Towns. Towns, the screen. Rose kicks to Towns. Over Valanciunas. It's stolen by Valanciunas. Now the Raptors moving it up. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Teague the pass to Towns. They set the pick. Dishes it to Rose. Back to Towns. Will it go? Trying to get open is Gibson. And it's Towns missing. Raptors leading by 4. Over to the wing. Right from outside. That falls. Nice feed that time from Kyle Lowry. Lowry's got his 7th assist here tonight. The Timberwolves shooting a paltry 33% in the fourth. Not a good showing for this offense. Minnesota calls timeout. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
I mean, he continues to burn them with his scoring. The coaching staff's going to have to come up with a different approach defensively.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Serge Ibaka.
And the D tried to get physical with him down low tonight, and it really backfired. Instead, he's just torn them up. He was aggressive, inviting the contact, and really just taking it straight to him.
This is as good a game as we've seen him play. And this crowd can't get enough of it. When he explodes like this, it becomes a special atmosphere in here. Now here's Wiggins. T kicks to Rose. Towns, the pass to Gibson. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Well, this is a real strength of Taj Gibson's game. Efficient low-post scoring. That's nicely done.
Here's Lowry. Valanciunas trying to free himself up. Great D that time from T. Timberwolves trail by 5. Wiggins, right side. Kicks it to T. There's the lob to Towns. Throws down the alley-oop slam.
Oh, oops, the alley. A gorgeous delivery to Towns.
Passes it to Leonard. Over Wiggins. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Towns has got his 20th rebound here tonight. Saw that coming. Teague with a clean look. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
Listen, that's a look he can hit, but right now he can't throw it in the ocean.
Right, the pass to Ibaka. Here's Lowry. That one doesn't go. Great D that time from T. Minnesota's gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. And it's Wiggins missing. Raptors leading by 3. Here's Rose. And he drops in the layup off the glass.
Now, Kevin, we know this about Derrick Rose. He never ducks these moments. He's fearless, this guy.
And Wright kicks to Ibaka. Pass to Valanciunas. Back to Ibaka. Expanding his range. It's hauled in by Karl-Anthony Towns. Rose against Wright. Pass to Towns. The dish to T. Back to Towns. 5 on the clock. The pass to Rose. And he misses the go-ahead basket.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Well, using every bit of that 7-foot wingspan, Wiggins airmailing it back.
To take the lead. And the rejection by Ibaka. Here's Leonard. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins.
Clearly a foul.
The free throw drops for Leonard. Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard.
That's exactly who they want at the line, and he comes through again.
Timberwolves trail by 3. Outside Teague. Here's Towns. Makes it off the glass. Towns has got 8 points here in this quarter.
How about the calm demeanor of Towns? Well made for pressure situations.
Ibaka with the screen on Rose. Passes it to Ibaka. Teague against Lowry. Buries it down low. and the Raptors lead by 3.
Lowry letting everybody in the building know if there's a big bucket to be made, get me the ball.
Here's Towns, and the rejection by Valanciunas. Lowry against Teague. Lowry dishes to Valanciunas. Off target with the free throw line, Jay. Leonard with the steal. .110 left to play in the final quarter. Shots good by Ibaka.
Oh, my goodness. Serge Ibaka with the killer instinct in an important situation. Love it.
And definitely playing the opponent, but also they're playing against the clock.
No, you're absolutely right. It's not impossible to catch up, but it is a tall order right now.
Siakam is checked in for Toronto. Leaps for it, and so it looks like the Timberwolves will retain possession here.
Yeah, you go for the steal, but at least you do get the deflection.
Well, Greg, you make them reset their offense, right? It's disrupting their rhythm.
.56 seconds left to play in the final quarter. He hits the first one, and that brings them within 5.
Well, he spent 1 year in college at Kentucky, yet Karl Anthony Towns has made such a smooth transition to the NBA. His ascension, guys, has been really remarkable.
And so he hits both.
Nice work there. This is a point in the game where if you get a chance to close the gap, you've got to make the most of it.
Lowry kicks to Leonard. Back to Lowry. From deep three-point range, the rebound by Gibson.
Yeah, and even with his range, that one might be asking a little too much.
Yeah, that zip code might extend beyond his range. My goodness, let's take a better shot next time.
And he's just putting the team on his back when he's needed most.
Don't you just love to see that confidence when taking these big shots?
Here's Lowry. Following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. Shot clock at 5. Lowry. Count it!
And feels like that one could be the dagger. Not enough time to completely erase this deficit.
Well, Greg, it's going to be tough, that's for sure. A shot like that has to devastate the other team.
Minnesota calls timeout. They're trailing by 4. 16 seconds left to play here in the fourth. 16 seconds left to play here in the fourth.
And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one.
Yeah, his production has been unbelievable. Really a testament to how much he cares about his craft.
And they go to the intentional foul.
Yeah, you know what? Smart foul. You got to try and extend the game.
So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5.
Well, let's remember, this guy was part of Team USA that went on to win gold in Rio. And if you remember, Coach K called Lowry the team's unsung hero. Very high praise for Kyle. Well, guys, that'll seal it for sure, right? Terrific job keeping his concentration and knocking those down.
Minnesota calls timeout. They're down by 6. 11 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
And I'm not sure the two-point bucket does much here. I think they got to go for 3.
Unless it's an and one, a two-pointer makes no sense. Unfortunately for them, the defense knows this too.
Teague, the pass to Gibson. From deep, Rose. That shot, no good. And so it's Toronto winning this one. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got a sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch. This crowd, man, they were electric.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin, with Danny Green. And Danny, We know how good a shooter you are, obviously, but you have really incorporated defense into your game. Now, how important is it for you to show up at that end?
Very important. I mean, it helps the team a lot. My job really is come in and bring defense and a lot of energy.
Well, mission accomplished for you tonight, Danny. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.